Hey guys, Shiggy here, aka Gene. I suppose you could say it's a brand new series for GTA 5 on my channel to do with racing and competitive racing and how to actually improve your racecraft. I apologise for the sound in the background. Some sort of construction is going on the other side of the house. I don't know why, but it's extremely annoying. But yeah, this series is basically bringing you more perspectives into the play now with what you're watching with video content. Before it was all about my point of view, but now it's going to be more POVs coming into play because PS4 obviously has the share play recording thing. So that's fucking amazing. So hopefully when we do get into 3 or 4 or 5-man battles, we can get everyone to send in gameplay footage, and I can give you guys a breakdown of the battles itself. Hopefully you guys get more of a perspective, which should be the case anyway. Now on this particular track, this is one of my best creations so far. Got Cheetah Grand Prix, part of the Zoo King playlist. I've got links to those in the description below. The entire playlist of the 8 tracks at the moment have been refurbished on the PS4 with the new props. So basically the intentions of these tracks is to keep people onto the roads and forcing them without using curbs. So this brings fair, clean racing. Also, another thing I would like to mention is that we've taken off off-road tires to make I guess the skill gap, increase the skill gap furthermore to bring that intense racing environment. So we decided to go with high-end tires and supercars, which basically allows all natural oversteer of the car itself. Any little bump, whatnot, it requires a lot of throttle control. So that's basically what you're seeing in this footage right now. So here's the thing: on the left-hand side, you can see Picano is keeping up, he's catching up, and I'm obviously on the right-hand side. He's blue. He's gone back to the original blue color. Now, I will be breaking down this gameplay footage, but I wanted to show you from the start of how Picano is keeping up with me and is going to apply that pressure against me. First of all, I want to say we've both made a lot of mistakes throughout the battles. We didn't really display good defensive strives, more or less good attacking strives between both perspectives. That's one thing I want you guys to take into account. So this episode is not really going to show you guys a defensive point of view, but I'll be making a video about that with a breakdown once I do get into more battles like that. But starting off with the first breakdown here, one thing you notice that with the line I took, we both took similar lines, but he had the upper hand because he floored it. I sort of was afraid of oversteering with the bump, so I went for the throttle control and eased off my acceleration there. At this point, this dickhead decided to go on the curb, which gave him the extra little boost. I was like, fuck no, motherfucker. So we both went side by side. I just sort of closed out. I said, you know what? No, mate, you ain't getting extra speed from the boost. Let's keep this fair. So at this point, it was interesting. I'm gonna first show you the footage of how he actually caught up with me on the exit of this. So I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of going back to it because we went side by side at this point. So you see here, I entered the corner quite tight. You know, it's a very tight corner, but he overstayed slightly there. But now he's got the upper hand against me because now he can actually enter the consecutive corner with a better line than me because I've got this constant flow, whereas he overstayed, lacked a little bit of speed into the corner, but it was okay because he can prepare himself for the next corner coming up. He can actually go wide. He's got a wider line into the apex than me. So what he's going to do is going to throttle. We both are throttle controlling, but he can see he's going slightly wider here at this point. So he's going to have a better exit and better entrance towards the corner going now. So I'd have to sacrifice way more speed to straighten up than him, basically. He could floor at this point, whereas I'm still having to control my car and turn. And that is where I'm losing all my speed. And that is how he was able to keep up. And at this point, we were all square. Side by side. This was interesting because the part that's coming up of the track was an innovative design that I decided to go with. It was an experiment. It was a risk. Basically, there's two lanes, inside lane, outside lane. This is where thought process comes into play and really anticipating the situation. So one thing you notice is that Picano at this point is going to actually brake early. See, he's going to brake there. He brakes before me. What that indicates is that he's going to take the inside line. But I have to anticipate the situation. See, I broke late there, right? That means I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to create this gap right there, which he exploited. He exploited that gap because I broke late. Now, if I was to do a defensive maneuver, I should have broke at the same time as he broke, so I would have to close that gap out. But I allowed this gap to happen, and he exploited me really well. Got the inside on me, and then he had the outside upper hand because he had extra momentum and speed. Whereas I'm trying to actually, you know, try and protect that inside there, but he had upper hand, and he actually managed to squeeze through. Let me show you this throughout this entire clip without the breakdowns. It's a smooth play here. That's how he managed to pull it off. That's a really nice overtake, you know, tight inside lane. So at this point, he's obviously vulnerable because he's on the inside. It's got a tighter angle into the corner, whereas I've got a nice wide angle going into the apex. This way I can keep up and close up the gap. Now at this point, where I've got another upper hand against him because he's already on the inside, he should have actually stuck on the outside and when approaching this. I anticipated the situation of just attacking the outside line because I know in my mind he's going to protect the inside. At this point, pause it, right? I already planned this. I know that he's going to actually cut back inside because that's what you do naturally when having to protect your line. What he should have done is protected the outside line, but it's very hard to anticipate when you're at the front. So I exploited the gap that he created at that point. You see there? He should have stuck on the left, but you can't determine that right away. You got to anticipate the situation, and he made a mistake there. I was able to grab him on the outside, but at this point, I was vulnerable now because he's got a better hand. He's got an upper hand against me. He's got a wider line, and I had to break early, but I didn't. So I reacted late. I was vulnerable in the situation, and he managed to get an easy overtake against me on the inside. It was a slightly overstayed, lost a lot of speed, but he was able to carry it, really control his car with throttle control. At this point, it's all just momentum. I did slightly get upper hand against him at this point because I grabbed a little curb there, but that's annoying. When you grab a curb, the racing becomes unfair. That's what we try to approach with these tracks, to keep them as clean as possible, sticking to the roads. And this is where it gets a little bit more controversial and interesting because here, I do have the upper hand against him. He approached the corner completely wrong. I should have actually had a better throttle control. If I had have paid attention, I would have not got into that collision. That was my fault. Of course, taking him out meaning I have to let him go, and that's basically part of the rules. If you take someone out, if you overtake someone unfairly, you take them out, you gotta let them through. And that's the rules we go by. And of course, just approaching the end of the lap, I once again was afraid of taking this line because there was a little bump. So I eased off my acceleration where he just floored it. So the gap was the same. Pretty much he was peeling away. Then a troll comes out of nowhere and fucks his battle up. But it's okay because Picano was going to win anyway. So he goes off and wins it. So that was a really awesome battle. You can see mistakes made by both players. At the same time, nice attacking maneuvers. But defensive was poor from both of us. That's one thing that really takes time to learn. But it's all to do with what happens in the situation, how you anticipate the situation as well. So hopefully you guys found it useful. I know this is something new. I'm not really used to how doing breakdowns and stuff, but give me feedback and criticism on this first episode so I can improve on my future episodes of breakdowns. Do you guys want me to stop the breakdowns? Do you guys want me to just slow-mo it and talk it through that? Just let me know in the comments below. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll bring out more battles like this with different point of views and more players recording. It's awesome now with the feature on PS4. People can record without having to have a capture card. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Check your sign out. Good night, peace. Yeah.